A predator with a history of destruction moved through life untouched by consequences, leaving a trail of victims in their wake. They operated with an arrogance born from repeated success, convinced their methods were foolproof and their position untouchable. Then they made the fatal miscalculation of targeting you. What worked on others failed spectacularly when they attempted to apply the same tactics to your situation. For the first time, they encountered a force they couldn't manipulate, intimidate, or overcome. The same hands they tempted with their arrogance delivered the consequences they never thought would reach them. What they intended for destruction became the vehicle of their own downfall. You're receiving presidential-level security in the spirit realm. Your name sits on a divine document that marks you for preservation during times of spiritual warfare. The enemy targeting you accidentally triggered celestial protocols reserved for those carrying specific assignments. When they set their sights on you, they unknowingly marked themselves for divine intervention. Their energy signature instantly registered in realms they don't understand. Like a hunter becoming the hunted, their attempt to track you placed a cosmic target on their own back. What they intended as your end became the beginning of their downfall. While they were studying your vulnerabilities, forces beyond their comprehension were studying them. Your protection doesn't come from what you've done. It comes from who you are and what you carry. The forces assigned to you recognize your spiritual fingerprint and respond to attacks against it with immediate counteraction. The moment they began plotting against you, unseen guardians began dismantling their plans. The entity moving against you operates with clinical precision, a spiritual assassin with confirmed kills to their name. Their energy carries the unmistakable residue of souls prematurely dispatched from their earthly assignments. They've done this before, multiple times, and their confidence stems from a history of successful eliminations that appeared coincidental, natural, or self-inflicted. Their methods have been refined through repeated application. Each previous victim provided another opportunity to perfect their craft of destruction. They've learned which techniques leave the fewest traces, which approaches generate the least suspicion, which timelines allow for clean getaways. Their spiritual hands drip with energetic blood that only those with heightened perception can detect. This assassin walks among everyday people, maintaining a carefully crafted persona of normalcy. They've mastered the art of blending into acceptable society while carrying out unacceptable acts. The perfect disguise exists not in elaborate costumes, but in plain sight ordinariness that deflects deeper scrutiny. Their hatred toward you burns with particular intensity because your light exposes their darkness. Your mere existence threatens the carefully constructed reality they've built. Your authentic power makes their manufactured influence look hollow. Your divine connection exposes their spiritual emptiness. They target you not just because of what you have, but because of what you are. This isn't their first mission, but it will be their last. Previous victims lacked your specific spiritual encoding. Previous targets didn't have your ancestral momentum. Previous marks weren't connected to realms that monitor attacks against chosen vessels. Their past successes set them up for this catastrophic failure. When they came for you, they brought all their previous crimes into divine court as evidence against themselves. The corruption threatening you has already infiltrated your family system. Someone carrying your bloodline has fallen victim to the same operator now targeting you. The death that seemed explained by natural causes or unfortunate timing carried unnatural fingerprints visible only to those with spiritual discernment. The loss that everyone accepted contained elements that should have triggered deeper investigation. Family wealth has been redirected through manipulated wills, falsified documents, and conveniently timed policy changes. Insurance payouts have landed in hands that orchestrated the very events triggering their disbursement. Trust funds meant for specific heirs have been intercepted through strategic eliminations. The financial trails tell stories of calculated removals disguised as unfortunate circumstances. This individual stood in funeral homes, performing grief with Oscar-worthy precision while internally celebrating their successful operation. They accepted condolences with practiced humility while mentally calculating their profits from the death they engineered. They placed flowers on caskets their own actions helped fill. Their tears contained no sadness, only the chemical release of successful deception. Now they've identified you as the next logical target in their sequence. The inheritance rightfully flowing toward you has attracted their predatory attention. The gifts activating in your spirit threaten their control of the family narrative. Your increasing awareness jeopardizes secrets they've carefully buried. Their attempted recreation of previous successes with you represents their most catastrophic miscalculation. The very ancestors they disrespected now stand as your spiritual security detail. The energetic signatures of previous family victims now serve as evidence in the cosmic courtroom. The bloodline they attempted to corrupt now carries the antibodies specifically designed to neutralize their poison. Their attack on your family legacy has activated dormant spiritual defenses, programmed specifically for such invasions. Pay careful attention to what enters your physical and spiritual body during this season. The snake on the pizza represents their preferred method, contaminating what you consume without raising suspicion. They specialize in introducing harmful elements that appear innocent, delivered through trusted channels that bypass your natural defenses. This individual travels significant distances specifically to acquire specialized materials for your harm. Their dedication to your destruction takes them across state lines, into specialized shops, and through digital back channels where rare substances and obscure knowledge can be acquired without trace. Their determination should not be underestimated, even as their efforts continue to fail against your protection. Hey, this is Mike and Airy cutting into your regularly scheduled Chosen One programming for just a moment. We are the founders of the Obsidian Inner Order and the Astral Atom Network. And we're done playing nice. We're in a spiritual war. You know it. We know it. And we're out here bleeding for this mission, full time. I'm hungry for fourth-dimensional Archon blood. But we need the ammunition. So listen. When you join the Inner Order, you're not just supporting us. You're getting access to exclusive tools they never wanted you to have. Psychic self-defense training, targeted individual intel, spiritual warfare tactics they scrub from the internet, and every week, we meet in secret, chosen ones only, on Zoom. No filters, no fluff, just real gnosis, real family, real power. It's a 360-degree win. You get what you need. We get to keep fighting. So don't just watch. Drop a like. Share this video to everyone you know now. And join the Obsidian Inner Order. Let's finish what we started. Link in the description. Let's freaking go. Gifts arriving unexpectedly require particular scrutiny. Objects presented with unusual enthusiasm might carry more than physical substance. That item they thought you would love could be energetically programmed for purposes beyond appreciation. The seemingly thoughtful present delivered at a vulnerable time may function as a spiritual Trojan horse, designed to breach defenses when gratitude temporarily lowers your guard. Their fingerprints exist on previous incidents that went uninvestigated. The mysterious illness that affected someone in your circle, the sudden behavioral changes in previously stable individuals, the unexpected reactions to ordinary substances. The pattern becomes visible when viewed through spiritual discernment, revealing a methodical application of harm disguised as coincidence. Their arsenal contains both physical and metaphysical weapons, deployed in calculated sequence for maximum effect. The spiritual poisons weaken resistance to the physical ones. The energetic attacks create vulnerabilities the tangible ones exploit. Their comprehensive approach requires equally comprehensive protection, which has already been assigned to you without your conscious request. The empty chair on your porch represents their intended return. They've visualized sitting across from you, regaining your trust through carefully crafted narratives that explain away their absence. Their sudden reappearance in your life carries strategic purpose, the incomplete mission that haunts their confidence and demands closure. This return operation has been meticulously planned. The timing calculated for when your guards might be lowest. The approach designed to navigate around any suspicions their previous actions may have generated. The explanations rehearsed to sound sincere rather than scripted. Every word chosen to re-establish connection without raising alarm. Their urgency stems from incomplete business. The initial attempt against you didn't deliver the intended outcome. Where others fell, you remained standing. Where previous targets succumbed, you continued thriving. This unprecedented failure demands resolution in their operational handbook. Their professional pride cannot accept the exception you represent to their otherwise perfect record. What presents as reconciliation functions as a cleanup operation. The renewed interest in your well-being masks renewed determination for your downfall. The apparent desire to rebuild connection conceals the actual desire to complete unfinished destruction. The supposed emotional evolution disguises unchanged lethal intention. Their return strategy fatally overlooks the spiritual evolution you've undergone during the separation. The person they're attempting to reconnect with no longer exists. The consciousness they're trying to manipulate has expanded beyond their technical capabilities. The spirit they're targeting has received significant upgrades specifically designed to counter their methods. Their outdated playbook now faces your updated spiritual firewall. Years of unpunished actions have created dangerous overconfidence in this operator. They've perfected looking innocent while committing the unthinkable, standing in police stations, medical examiner offices, and judicial chambers without triggering suspicion. Their composure remains unshaken during investigations that approach, but never quite reach the truth. Their confidence borders on supernatural because patterns of escape have reinforced their perceived invulnerability. This individual has invested decades into mastering untraceable elimination methods. Their knowledge spans both conventional and unconventional disciplines, chemistry merging with spirituality, psychology combining with energetic manipulation. They understand precisely which substances leave the body quickly, which emotional states mask sinister influence, which spiritual attacks remain undetectable to conventional awareness. They genuinely believe they exist beyond accountability. Previous consequences have failed to materialize despite numerous actions deserving severe punishment. Investigations have concluded without reaching them. Suspicions have faded without confirmation. Witnesses have disappeared before testifying. Evidence has deteriorated before processing. These patterns created the illusion of untouchable status that emboldened them to target you. When they selected you, they were following an established procedure that had succeeded repeatedly. The same assessment process, the same vulnerability identification, the same approach strategy, the same execution plan, the same exit protocol. They applied a proven formula without recognizing you represent a fundamentally different spiritual equation, one their methods cannot solve. Their history of hidden crimes now functions as a comprehensive case file against them in realms they cannot bribe, intimidate, or evade. Each previous victim adds another charge to the cosmic indictment. Each unpunished act contributes another count to the spiritual prosecution. The very success that emboldened them to target you has created an overwhelming body of evidence ensuring their complete downfall. This operator finances specialized practitioners who work with cemetery materials specifically harvested to target you. Soil from particular graves, remnants from specific caskets, elements collected during calculated lunar phases. Materials gathered at cosmic junctures when barriers between realms temporarily thin. These components form spiritual weapons assembled with your energetic signature as the designated target. Their spiritual technologies are deliberately designed to make orchestrated demises appear entirely natural. Heart failures that leave no trace of intervention, respiratory complications that resemble common conditions, neurological events that mimic recognized pathologies, mental states that lead to seemingly self-determined endings. These methods have succeeded previously because they exploit the boundary between natural and manufactured outcomes. They've attempted to trigger psychological instability as precursor to physical vulnerability, the unexplained anxiety, the sudden irrationality, the uncharacteristic paranoia, the emotional volatility without apparent cause. These symptoms weren't random mental health fluctuations, but targeted spiritual attacks designed to create openings for more definitive interventions, attacks that bounced off the spiritual armor surrounding you. These rituals carry specific energetic fingerprints your ancestral guardians immediately recognize. The techniques originated in corrupted traditions your bloodline has encountered across multiple generations. The methodologies bear signatures your spiritual lineage has developed specific antibodies against. The practitioner's energy contains frequencies your protection system automatically filters and neutralizes. Their continued attempts represent spiritual insanity, repeating the same failed approaches while expecting different outcomes. Each attack increases rather than decreases your ancestral support. Their persistence accelerates their own exposure rather than advancing their objective. The depths of their deception exceed conventional understanding. They would literally desecrate your final resting place while publicly displaying appropriate grief. The same hands that would arrange flowers on your memorial would later return to perform disrespectful acts on that sacred ground. Their performative respect masks unprecedented contempt. They've already mentally rehearsed their grieving performance for your funeral, the appropriate facial expressions, the convincing emotional breakdowns, the supportive comments to your loved ones, the meaningful anecdotes about your life, the seemingly heartfelt tributes. This elaborate preparation reveals both their lethal intention and their profound miscalculation of your spiritual standing. The duality of their nature reaches pathological proportions. The same voice that speaks words of appreciation to your face speaks curses against your spirit when alone. The same mind that plans social engagements with you plans your permanent removal from society. The same heart that presents as caring harbors cold calculation regarding your elimination. This split existence represents a spiritual fracture that ultimately ensures their own destruction. They've stood over previous victims, feigning appropriate grief while internally celebrating successful operations. Tears falling from eyes while victory dances in their heart. Consoling survivors while mentally calculating profits. Supporting families while planning next targets. This pattern established destructive spiritual momentum, now returning to its origin point with cosmic interest added. Their capacity to compartmentalize reaches beyond psychological mechanism into spiritual corruption territory. The internal walls separating their public and private selves have created energetic fragmentation that now accelerates their disintegration. Their two-faced existence generated the exact frequency needed to activate your multidimensional protection. Their greatest operational strength unwittingly triggered their ultimate operational failure. The cosmic hourglass has emptied for this individual. They've played with forces exponentially beyond their comprehension and now find themselves trapped in consequences they cannot negotiate, manipulate, or escape. The same spiritual technologies they deployed against others have been cosmically redirected to their origin point with amplified intensity. The spiritual assassin has become the primary target of their own methodologies. The specific frequencies they sent out have returned on precision trajectories. The exact intentions they projected have boomeranged back to their source. The particular harm they engineered has been spiritually reverse-engineered with their energy signature as the designated receiver. Multiple karmic debts are being simultaneously collected. Previous victims' energies have combined into a unified force of cosmic balancing. Spiritual accounts long overdue have entered immediate collection status. Interdimensional creditors are reclaiming with interest what was karmically borrowed through unrighteous actions. No filing for spiritual bankruptcy exists where cosmic law has been repeatedly violated. What transpired in room 911 exists as permanent evidence in the Akashic record, the hidden actions, the whispered incantations, the forbidden exchanges, the unholy alliances. These moments were witnessed, recorded and preserved by forces beyond physical perception. The seemingly private operations generated evidence that now plays continuously in spiritual courtrooms, where final judgments receive immediate enforcement. Their cosmic case has advanced beyond the hearing phase into the sentencing implementation stage. The universal judges have reviewed the evidence, considered the pattern, evaluated the intent, and issued irreversible decisions. The spiritual marshals have received execution orders that circumvent all conventional defensive measures. The divine correction proportionally matches the sustained pattern of violation. Your genetic coding contains protections they cannot penetrate regardless of method, persistence, or desperation. Beyond biological DNA, your spiritual genome carries encryption technologies developed across multiple dimensions, specifically designed to preserve your unique essence. Your cellular structure responds to attacks by activating dormant defense systems that remain inactive until precisely such moments. The ancestors they disrespected maintain direct connection to your spiritual composition. Their wisdom flows through your intuitive hits. Their strength reinforces your energetic boundaries. Their knowledge downloads through your dream state. Their presence manifests through your inexplicable knowing. This direct ancestral pipeline provides real-time protection updates, specifically calibrated to emerging threats. Your existence represents everything their darkness fears, living proof that their methods can fail. Their understanding remains incomplete, and their power has definitive limitations. You embody the exception to their rules, the contradiction to their beliefs, the challenge to their assumed authority. Your continued thriving despite their efforts shatters their operational certainty and exposes their vulnerability. They targeted you precisely because your light exposes their operations. Your authentic power threatens their manufactured influence. Your divine connection challenges their spiritual counterfeits. Your natural abilities make their developed skills appear primitive. Your automatic spiritual functions neutralize their laboriously constructed methods. Your mere existence questions the foundation of their reality. Every attack against you activates another layer of your multidimensional protection system. Each attempt further initializes dormant spiritual technologies encoded in your being. Every approach strategy reveals another aspect of your cosmic significance previously unknown even to you. Their aggression serves as the activation sequence for your spiritual operating system's advanced features. Their entire network of spiritual manipulation now experiences catastrophic system failure. The infrastructure supporting their operations collapses under the weight of cosmic correction. The alliances providing their resources dissolve as self-preservation instincts override previous loyalties. The technologies enabling their methods malfunction when directed toward protected frequencies. The masters who taught them these techniques can no longer extend protection against consequences. Their spiritual mentors face simultaneous judgment for creating destructive methodologies. Their dark hierarchies experience unprecedented instability as cosmic light exposes previously hidden structures. Their support systems disintegrate precisely when needed most desperately. What once gave them power now functions as evidence against them. The specialized knowledge, the rare materials, the forbidden texts, the unconventional relationships, the covert transactions, these operational necessities created documentary trails that now serve as irrefutable proof in spiritual tribunals where denials hold no influence and character witnesses cannot alter factual records. Their attempts to harm you activated their own self-destruction sequence, cosmic fail-safes, designed to protect certain frequencies from sustained attack. Each ritual against you strengthened the energetic backflow mechanism. Each intention magnified the return trajectory. Each attempt increased the reflective capacity of your protection field. Their persistent aggression against divine order created the specific conditions required for their complete neutralization. The matrix supporting their reality has experienced critical failure. The construct they operated within no longer maintains structural integrity. The paradigm enabling their methods has shifted beyond their adaptation capacity. The energetic environment sustaining their operations has transformed into one that actively rejects their frequency. Their entire system faces extinction-level breakdown, with no possibility of reconstruction. Their attack functioned as the precise trigger mechanism for your greatest spiritual awakening. What they intended as your destruction initiated unprecedented expansion. What they designed to limit you launched your liberation. What they deployed to harm you accelerated your healing. The very energy directed against you converts to fuel for your elevation through divine alchemy that transforms opposition into opportunity. The inheritance they attempted to steal multiplies as it reaches your hands. The resources diverted from their intended interception flow toward you through channels they cannot monitor or access. The abundance previously blocked by their interference now accumulates with compounded spiritual interest. The provision meant for your purpose arrives with perfect timing despite impressive efforts to prevent its manifestation. What they meant for your demise becomes your supernatural promotion. The attack creating visibility in realms where your gifts receive recognition. The opposition generating evidence of your significance to forces seeking exactly your spiritual signature. The resistance producing demonstration of your resilience to audiences evaluating candidates for specific assignments. Their attempt to remove you from the equation instead highlighted your irreplaceable value. Your story transforms into cosmic warning for others contemplating similar violations of spiritual law. Your experience becomes case study in divine protection protocols. Your journey illustrates perfect operation of universal justice principles. Your triumph demonstrates the futility of opposing divinely supported purposes, regardless of method, persistence, or temporary appearance of success. Blessings on blessings continue manifesting in your experience, not as random good fortune, but as calculated cosmic compensation for what was directed against you. The scales of universal justice balance precisely. The spiritual accountants maintain perfect records. The divine compensation department issues exact payments. Your continued expansion represents both restoration of what was rightfully yours and additional penalty assessed against those who attempted interference. Remember, you aren't crazy. This is really happening. They genuinely fell upon their own sword when coming against you. The chair where they expected you to expire remains conspicuously empty while your seat of authority awaits your full occupation. You didn't merely survive their attack, you inherited their power when they foolishly played with God and got.